Welcome to Myth or Reality Stories. Is this story a myth or a reality? Find out at the end.
Join me as I dive into the bizarre story of Gloria Ramirez and see if I can uncover the truth behind the toxic fumes that surrounded her. Gloria Ramirez was a 31-year-old American woman who lived in Riverside, California. She seemed like a normal person, but little did anyone know that her body was about to unleash a deadly mystery that would baffle medical professionals and leave everyone stunned. In February 1994, Gloria was rushed to Riverside General Hospital after complaining of nausea, dizziness, and chest pains. No one could have predicted what was about to unfold. What seemed like a routine medical emergency would soon turn into a toxic nightmare. The medical staff at the hospital was unprepared for what was about to happen. They were about to face a situation that would test their skills, their courage, and their understanding of human biology. In the next few minutes, we'll explore the extraordinary events surrounding Gloria's death, and the toxic fumes that seemed to emanate from her body. The story is as fascinating as it is terrifying, and it's a case that would go on to become one of the most bizarre in medical history. Be sure to keep watching until the end to find out if this story is a reality and totally true or a myth and totally made up by ourselves. Let's dive in and see if we can uncover the truth behind this toxic mystery. The medical staff at Riverside General Hospital that day was in for a shock. They had seen many patients come and go, but none like Gloria Ramirez. Her symptoms were odd, to say the least. She was complaining of numbness in her face, arms, and legs, along with a strong metallic taste in her mouth. The doctors and nurses were confused, but they quickly sprang into action, trying to figure out what was wrong with Gloria. They ran a series of tests, but nothing seemed to make sense. Her blood work came back normal, and there was no apparent reason for her symptoms. As the medical staff continued to treat Gloria, they began to experience strange symptoms themselves. They reported feeling dizzy, nauseous, and experiencing shortness of breath. It was as if something was affecting them, but they had no idea what it was. One nurse reported feeling like she was going to pass out, while another doctor felt like he was going to vomit. The situation was rapidly spiraling out of control, and no one knew what to do. The medical staff was in a state of panic, trying to figure out what was happening. They called in backup, but even the most experienced doctors and nurses were stumped. It was as if they were dealing with something they had never seen before. The hospital's emergency room quickly turned into a scene from a science fiction movie. Medical staff were dropping like flies, and no one knew how to stop it. It was like something out of a horror movie, and it was all too real. As the situation continued to deteriorate, the hospital's staff was forced to evacuate the emergency room. They had to move Gloria to another room, hoping to contain whatever was happening. But it was too late, the damage was done. 23 people, including doctors, nurses, and hospital staff, were affected by the mysterious fumes. One nurse even required oxygen therapy to recover. It was a scene of utter chaos, and it would take years to uncover the truth behind it. Gloria's medical history was complex, to say the least. She had been suffering from a range of health issues, including cancer, kidney disease, and heart problems. But nothing could have prepared her for what was about to happen. In the days leading up to her hospitalization, Gloria had been experiencing severe abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. She had also been taking a range of medications, including painkillers and antidepressants. The doctors at Riverside General Hospital were about to face a nightmare scenario. They had no idea what was causing Gloria's symptoms, and they were running out of time. They decided to perform a series of tests, including a CT scan and an ECG, but nothing seemed to reveal the root cause of the problem. As the medical staff continued to treat Gloria, they began to notice a strange smell in the room. It was a pungent, acrid smell that seemed to be coming from Gloria's body. At first, they thought it was just her perfume or some kind of chemical reaction, but as the smell grew stronger, they realized something was seriously wrong. Gloria's body was giving off some kind of toxic fumes, and the medical staff was caught in the middle of it. They were trapped in a nightmare scenario, and they didn't know how to escape. The events that transpired in that emergency room were nothing short of bizarre. The medical staff was fighting for their lives, trying to figure out what was happening, and how to stop it. It was a desperate situation, and it would take years to uncover the truth behind it. As the situation continued to spiral out of control, the medical staff was forced to make some tough decisions. They had to evacuate the hospital, and call in a hazmat team to deal with the mysterious fumes. It was a scene of utter chaos, and it would be etched in the memories of those who were there forever. In the end, Gloria Ramirez died in the hospital, surrounded by the very people who were trying to save her. It was a tragic end to a bizarre story, and it would raise more questions than answers. What was behind the toxic fumes that seemed to emanate from her body? Was it a result of her medical conditions, or was it something more sinister? The investigation that followed was one of the most extensive in medical history. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention was called in, along with a range of other experts. They tested everything from the hospital's air quality to Gloria's medications, but the answer remained elusive. In the end, the CDC concluded that the fumes were likely the result of a combination of factors, including Gloria's medications, her medical conditions, and some unknown factor that they couldn't quite put their finger on. It was a mysterious case, and it would remain that way forever. The case of Gloria Ramirez has had a lasting impact on medical practices. It highlighted the importance of being prepared for the unexpected, and the need for medical professionals to think outside the box. It was a wake-up call, and one that would change the way hospitals approached emergency situations forever.
So, what do you think caused the toxic fumes that surrounded Gloria Ramirez? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in exploring more bizarre medical mysteries, be sure to check out our next video. So, let me explain a little about this story's myths and realities. Yes, this story of Gloria Ramirez, also known as the Toxic Lady, is based on a true event. Here's a breakdown of the factual elements. Gloria Ramirez's arrival at Riverside General Hospital. This is true. Gloria Ramirez, a 31-year-old woman from Riverside, California, was admitted to Riverside General Hospital in February 1994, presenting symptoms consistent with advanced cervical cancer. Mysterious fumes and staph illness. This detail is accurate. Medical staff who treated her did report a strange smell from her body, described by some as ammonia-like, which caused dizziness, nausea, and even temporary paralysis. Ultimately, 23 individuals reported symptoms after exposure. Chaos in hospital evacuation. The incident caused enough concern to evacuate the emergency room and bring in a hazardous materials team to investigate. It was treated with the seriousness of a potential toxic exposure. Theories of chemical reactions and mass psychogenic illness. Investigations conducted by various agencies, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, offer different theories. Some believe that a chemical reaction involving a substance called DMSO, which Gloria may have been using as a home remedy, could have formed toxic gases. Another theory suggested mass psychogenic illness, though this remains controversial among medical experts. Medical and forensic challenges. This part is factual as well. Despite extensive testing on air quality, medication, and environmental factors, no definitive cause was found. The case has since become a medical mystery, referenced in studies and documentaries on unexplained medical phenomena. Fictional or embellished elements. While most details of the story are true, the dramatic retelling adds layers of suspense and horror, framing it as a near-apocalyptic scenario for the hospital. In reality, the response was cautious and methodical, with personnel moving to treat the affected staff members quickly and evacuating the area until it was deemed safe. Some details, like hazmat teams conducting extensive searches or mysterious unknown factors beyond those identified by the CDC, are actually added by us for dramatic effect and retelling. So, while our story captures the key factual elements, it also builds on the atmosphere and drama, which is common in retellings of this unique medical case. Ultimately, this story of Gloria Ramirez, the toxic woman, is reality and true. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.